That's better. So it looks like I'm looking at you. Yeah, I think that's better. Right. Hello and welcome to Pre-Match Focus with your host, me, Tim.
And me, Lee.
How are you doing?
Oh, good, mate. Another break. The winter break I never knew about. And we're back to it now, eventually. So at this time, I don't think we do again. Is there an international break coming up soon, isn't there?
Yes, I think there is the one coming up again.
I saw one this season to actually just get done with now, to be honest.
Remember the last one? And we were like, hey, when we finished.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, back to normality again. Well,
And then it lasted 2 weeks.
It lasted very long, yeah. Through an away.
I've never known a season like it's so stop-start. It'll be even worse next season when we got the World Cup going on for the middle of it. So,
yeah, I know it's going to be hectic next year.
Yeah, let's hope they know.
Schedule out.
I know. Well, we'll have to probably do a World Cup one, won't we? But
what's good with these podcasts is, as well, I've just noticed that although we've been away for a couple of weeks, it's enhanced me grays.
Oh dear. I mean, is that good or bad or?
Aged me, it has. FA Cup and watching United is aging me by the week, I think.
Yeah, it's not good at the moment, is it? I mean, I've got my hoodie to try and cover up the length of my beard at the moment. But
Can you plait it yet?
I probably can, yeah. I can plait it round, yeah. I'll be Jack Sparrow in it up soon. I'll probably leave my hair to grow as well.
That's who you look like. Yes.
Johnny Depp, cheers, mate.
No. So, right. Well, shall we get to it then?
We shall.
Right, starting the games this week, Saturday the 12th of February, starting with the 12:30 kickoff, which is Man United at home to Southampton, Leroy.
Well, most of these games are really difficult to... well, we spoke just briefly before, then we're saying there's probably going to be a lot of really tight games.
Mm-hmm. I've got a lot of draws down this week, man. I'm not going to lie.
Safety first, I suppose. Safety first. But I'm expecting, I mean, even though Southampton got a great win at Spurs in the week, and they are a tough team to beat anyway. I mean, they seem to get a lot of draws down there themselves. But
Southampton, man, I'm not going to. I think they look really good.
Yeah,
they've just picked up this form. Oh yeah, they have though. Right at the beginning of the season, they were picking up draws for fun, and no one were beating them, and they just still hard to beat. And I just
they seem to go for a cluster of spells, don't they?
Yeah. It's been absolutely piss poor. It's been awful. Even though everyone's going, oh, we can see improvement. I see what they're saying. It's like certain styles of play which are starting to become starting to become fairly obvious. You can see them, and obviously it's changing the mentality a bit because there were a lot of lazy bastards out there before. So it's starting to work to a certain extent, but it's like you start fixing one thing and it's like it shows about a million cracks up here all of a sudden. You're like, wow. But one thing's for sure, Varane at the side of Maguire is showing Maguire up to be an absolute fraud at United, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's the debutant Vegas, wasn't it, for Burnley, giving him a bit of a run round as well.
Oh,
something they could match him for size and power, probably, and yeah.
It was the worst performance from a centre half that I've seen for a long time, mate.
There hasn't been many bad centre halves at Man United, so it's probably hard for you to.
And what's really sad is the amount of criticism and shite that someone like Phil Jones has been given. I have never seen him put a performance in as bad as that in my entirety, and never will, because he's got a bit of bollocks about him. He's got a bit of something. He's still gritty and he still wants to wear the badge, he still wants to play well and work hard. It's one thing you can never criticise Phil Jones about, but it's one thing you can criticise Harry Maguire about.
Have we seen Phil Jones since the Wolves game? Has he just been completely dropped again?
No, he's played again. He came on again, yeah. Who did we play? That's it.
Play against Middlesbrough.
Yes, yeah, he came on against Middlesbrough, I think.
It's you know,
yeah, because he was the next one of the next two to take the penalty, him or Luke Shaw.
Ah, okay. I remember taking an early night that night. I had work on the Saturday for the whole day, so I took an early night that one. I wouldn't have saw it, but
yeah,
obviously I woke up to the news that they had been knocked out. So that was bad. I mean, to be fair, the game should have been won because you can say what you want about big teams usually getting the decisions. That goal should never have stood against Middlesbrough.
I don't know what were worse, mate. Us getting knocked out to Middlesbrough probably was us, or you losing to Norwich. I was like, wow, this couldn't get any worse for us this week.
We're getting back to the typical Wolves days where we lose to the easiest team at a lot of them. So.
Oh, well, the problem is, all of a sudden now, I don't know whether it's affected the team's mentality because he's gone, but Adama Traore going, it's like all of a sudden they're capitulating a little bit. And I don't understand. They've been consistent throughout.
I think these stories sort of make themselves sometimes, don't they? But I'll get to that point when we go into
when we come.
But yeah, it's just these stories seem. I always pre-think things before. That's what I call pre-match focus. But
exactly, pre-think things.
Yeah, pre-think focus.
Pre-think focus.
You know, you think of these scenarios in your head that are going to build up, and I'll get to that in a minute, and I'll mention what I think is going to happen. So, and I have predicted that with teams like Brentford, and it has actually happened. You know, so I think we'll probably go for the same patch. To be honest with you,
probably. I think you're probably right. It happens to most. We're definitely going through it. So, but anyway, well, I'm going with a 1-1 draw on this one. I just can't foresee a winner, and I think the only saving factor for United, I think, is the fact that we're at home, is that we will get a draw. And yeah, what are you saying?
I've gone 2-1 United because they have to win for me, and I think
for 2 weeks.
You need to win every game, really.
But
every
game, big time.
This
was meant to be our 10-match period where United should have won every game.
Yeah. They said that with Ranieri, didn't know, and he's coming in. He's got a great chance to win every single game. So
he's not lost many. He's not lost many, but we're drawing too many.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy on the eye as well, has it? It's been a bit rough and tumble, hasn't it? So I've gone with that 2-1 to win because, again, to sort of to guess a scenario happening, it's rare you probably see. I mean, as good as that result was for Saints to win at Spurs 3-2, it's rare you go to both places and win on the bench. So
yeah, I know.
I think Man U have got to completely go at them and hurt them. But Southampton are a threat, and more likely it could be a draw. I think I did sketch down the draw at first, but then changed my mind for United got to try and win.
Always go with your first thought. Remember.
We'll find out at the weekend. We'll have to try and remember that, and then you can have a go at me if it is a draw.
Yeah. Right. Well, next up is 3 o'clock. It's Brentford and Crystal Palace.
Gone for both score now, draw, and that's sorry.
Oh, sorry, Tips. God, we're rusty. It's been too long. So Tips, both score no draw with that one.
Yeah.
Right, 3 o'clock, which is Brentford at home to Crystal Palace. This will be a good game, I reckon.
Yeah, it could be an interesting one. Should be tasty for a London derby as well. I can finally later. Well, I don't think we've had the show since we beat Brentford, so I can finally later rest for that. Pontus Jansson got his come up and got the yellow card.
Oh, you're not going to put him on again? Oh, I'm sure it'll arise again at some stage of this season. You will still definitely hold that grudge. Pontus, you mate.
I know, but no, I can finally to rest for now. We haven't got to play him again this season, so maybe next season.
But you still give him some grief every week after you played him.
Yeah, I've left him alone this week. I haven't gone for any player bets this week, so he's not going to be down for a booking or anything. So he's safe for now.
Well, Crystal Palace, in my opinion, look quite good, really. Again.
Yeah, they're probably disappointed not to pick. I mean, even though Norwich have been in decent form recently, I think everyone who plays them home or away are expecting something out of that game to take on. they did take something out of it, but I think their away form's probably a little bit up and down at times. I think they seem to perform better at home, but I think with Brentford, it depends. I can't see Ericsson playing. Even if he does, is he going to be up to the strength?
I'd say this is the type of game I'd see him playing if he were going to play.
Yeah, it depends on his own fitness, doesn't it? I don't know how far he's behind, or I'd imagine he can't be far off if they've only signed him to the end of the season. So.
Exactly. He weren't playing that long ago.
Yeah, let's hope he does come back, and because he's a good player to watch, isn't he?
Yeah, he's great. And I think for the assets they have got, like Mbeumo and Tottenham going forward, someone like Ericsson's perfect.
Yeah. Well, even like set piece deliveries and that, they got some big guys at the back as well.
Oh yeah.
But Janssen and Pinnock himself, I think they're both about 6'5", aren't they? So
Pinnock's a tall boy, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure they're about similar height. I'm sure they're about 6'4", 6'5", the pair of them. So
they've all got height in that side, and that's why sometimes it makes it really difficult to beat them. Because, if you've got that many big guys on quite a shortish pitch sometimes, there's going to be no room to move, is there?
I remember him coming down to Molyneux, and obviously I do remember him coming down to Molyneux, so I didn't shut up about it. But no, even the centre mids are big. I think Norgard, is it? I think he's got to be well over 6 foot himself.
He's over 6 foot, definitely, yeah. Tony's over 6 foot.
Yeah. Easy now because he's chopped his dreadlocks off. He seems to be looking a bit...
He reminds me like the modern day Jason Lee. You remember him?
Well, yeah, just about.
He's got a pineapple on his head.
For footballing ability, maybe not with her.
Oh yeah, they're awful in. Right, anyway. So what are you saying? I'm going to go with 2-1 Crystal Palace for this one.
I've gone with 1.
I just think I think Brentford are they're just struggling a minute. They can't really buy a win, can they? So
yeah, it's a tough place to go. I think I've gone for 1-1. Because Palace, as I say, with the away form seems to be a bit sketchy. I think it's going to be a tougher test than Norwich, or a similar test to Norwich. So go for the same result.
And what's your tip for that one then, Lee?
Both teams to score.
Okay. Well, we'll quickly fly on. So we're on a bit of a time schedule today. So Everton at home to Leeds. This is one of my favourite games. This is going to be amazing. Yeah,
this will be my game to watch tomorrow, I think. For the neutral. If you are neutral and want to watch a good game of football, I think this will be the one.
Yeah, I do.
Be Lampard's own debut. Obviously, I think we should expect an atmosphere. One of the best atmospheres that the Premier League's seen this season as well. Because
absolutely, Everton, Goodison's great for that anyway.
Yeah, and Leeds fans, brilliant noise as well usually. Goodison, for when Duncan Ferguson took charge of that one game, I was on my way back from work, I think. But the sound on the radio when they came out, I mean, it's usually a bit muted in the background, isn't it? But it was deafening. So
yeah, it was really atmosphere. Goodison, they're always up for it. That's one thing about Everton fans, you can moan a bit sometimes, but I tell you what, they don't have to get behind them.
Yeah, I'm hoping it hasn't deflated them a bit too much with the Newcastle result, but they should be. I think they should be. Well, and the fact that it's Leeds as well, a lot of people don't like Leeds for certain reasons.
Another game like Newcastle, really. This is, how Newcastle is starting to look now with the attacking threat, quick on the break, all that kind of stuff. Saint-Maximin, blah, 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 Jack Harrison, blah, 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 and Rafinha. It's a very similar playbook at the minute. And I don't know. I think they really need to. I've gone for a draw on this one. I've gone for a good score draw as well, 2-2, because there's goals in this.
Yeah, I've gone exactly the same. I've gone 2-2. Yeah,
there's definitely goals in this game. And
yeah, I mean,
it could even be more.
Well, you look at the game in the Villa game in the well. I mean, Dan James, who have probably been the harsh critic of over time, he's looked really good in the week. Whether Villa made him look a bit good, but then usually
yeah, but the
Gerrard's
problem
team.
is, I don't think he's probably not going to play this week or for the next week or week after. So because he refused to go off at end.
Oh dear, I missed that.
Yeah, he
Is that
refused to
true?
go off.
Oh, dear.
So and last time someone refused to go off with Bielsa, he didn't play for a while.
I'll take it that's because he was on the hat trick. Then he was trying to get some air.
He was trying to bring that Tyler Roberts on.
He wouldn't have none of it. No. He's probably saying he don't score anyway. I understand.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's got loads of games. He's not even scored. Well, he's probably scored one, I think, hasn't he?
Yeah, both teams seem to leak the fair amount of goals, don't they? So
yeah,
gone for over 2.5 goals on this as well. So 2-2 draw over 2.5 goals.
Okay. Right, well, on to the last of the 3 o'clocks on Saturday, which is Watford at home to Brighton. Initially, when we first started this, I thought we were going to be plenty of goals. But then I thought to myself, no, there's not.
Hodgson's back.
Exactly what I thought.
Yeah, that's. I mean, probably a lot of teams probably will have 2 managers throughout the season, won't they? On an average, when one's been sacked. I bet you can't find one that's had what would you call it?
19 of them.
Yeah. So if you put Ranieri's age and they've had 3 this season, haven't they? Kike Sanchez, haven't they? Or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Zisco, sorry.
Yeah, that's him.
We've had that many. I can't remember.
We've talked about this so many times. It feels like deja vu, man. Like, it's crazy, isn't it?
That's what I was going to.
Since we started doing this, they've had 3 managers.
Had 3 managers since the last show, haven't they?
Yeah. To be honest, soon United will have done as well.
Yeah, probably will.
They have. Solskjaer, Carrick, Randy.
Yeah, I forgot about Carrick coming in.
That's a sad statistic.
After so long with Ferguson, then 3 coming at once.
Buses, mate.
That's what I was going to say. The combined age. I bet you can't find 2 managers with a higher combined age in a season to manage a club than Ranieri and Hodgson.
Right, yeah, no. Can't blame me, yeah. But just, I wonder who's made sure neither one of them keels over in that. Like, if it gets exciting, don't need to worry about him now in this age. Remember Bobby Robson when he was staying to that age? Everyone was like, "Oh, I hope he's going to be all right." Like, you know.
But this is the thing, I suppose people get concerned with footballers turning 30. Never mind, managers turning 70.
Exactly, mate. But never mind 80s.
I know, yeah, probably ain't far off. Is he about 73? Is he, Hodgson?
Fucking not far away. I'm telling you, he'll be there in no time. Ranieri's got to be 70, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's 71, 72. I think he's a year younger, I think, from Hodgson, something like that.
I mean, tell you what, they start managing for any time, you're going to be like, whoa, chill out, guys. It's like Ferguson, we were starting to do it with him.
Yeah. So, I mean, to be fair, he was still a bit young at the time he went, I suppose. I suppose he could have had another 4 or 5 years if he really wanted to. Yeah,
it's a long old stint though, isn't it?
People were still linking Wenger back when he had gone and he was in his 70s. So.
Remember after Moyes were linking Ferguson to come back? It was like, hold on, steady on, you're trying to kill our boss, like, you know.
I know, okay. Get another 30 years out of him, we'll be all right. Be a head in a jar.
I'll tell you what, that'd have been a story, that, wouldn't it? Finishing 7th and then Ferguson comes back and wins it again.
That'd have made him look a bit bad, wouldn't it?
But, if he come back now as next manager and won it again, you're like, this guy's just a legend, man. He's just a hero.
Maybe the Atalanta manager next to Watford. He's about 72 as well.
I know, yeah.
He's Italian, so.
Right, well, I'm going with 1 apiece, me.
I've gone for 1-0 Brighton. I think Hodgson's football ain't fully. I don't think he's good. I think he's going to end up with a bit of a Allardyce story where with the Albion last season, everyone was expecting it. I would just work his magic now, and I think it's sort of like
this job's going to retire him.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is the end for him now. I think he's coming I don't think he'll have any stress if they go down. I don't think he'll be too worried, to be honest. I think he just enjoys coaching. He'll just whatever will be for him. I think now.
How many times has he been relegated, Roy Hodgson, in his career?
Not many. I don't think he's took any Premier League team down, has he? So.
Exactly what I'm saying. So is he gonna? That's what I'm saying. If he does, that'll properly retire him.
Yeah, I say everyone seems to go out on the. I'd say if you watch the boxing or something, someone will probably go out on the losing now, won't they? And then that's the swan song.
It seems that way. It's like that kind of mentality these days. Instead of having another go and trying to win it back and having a win, and doing whatever, it's like, I done now. It's like Jose Mourinho. They were struggling and struggling. He got worse and got worse here, and then sacked. Italy, it is then.
It's scoffing on pizza and drinking Pepsi all the time now, and then telling these players not to eat it. Yeah, I've gone 1-0 Brighton, double chance Brighton.
Double chance. Okay. Right then. So we'll go on to this 5:30 kickoff, which is Dean Smith's Norwich at home to the mighty City.
Yeah, as good as City are now, I'm sort of getting bored of their games.
I am. It's like, I would honestly go back 7 or 8 games and it was like, ooh,
yeah,
this is looking tasty, this. And even though United weren't in the mix, not bothered. Don't look at it like that. I look at it on a Premier League kind of front, and because we watch every game, don't we? We watch everything and analyze everything, and that's how we get to do what we're doing, So, but basically, City, it's just a whitewash now, isn't it?
Yeah, and hopefully, I'm sort of like hoping for City fans around there, hoping for Guardiola to leave, so it just gets a bit more open. Because even when United were dominant, there was always a title race, wasn't there? For all them years, there was always fighting.
Apart from one, maybe.
Yeah.
But there were always the title race, and it was that's what I've enjoyed about United, even obviously winning, but just some of even if they hadn't won some of them, like the Blackburn one, which we talked about, Blackburn losing on last game of the season to Liverpool, but United couldn't beat West Ham, and it was like, and they're the kind of margins which make a Premier League season, and it was going so well, like a 3-horse race, like, so to speak, really. And then all of a sudden it's like just 1-horse race. That is literally it.
I was like, it's absolutely nothing against City because, if there's a team that Wolves have been similar to throughout my life watching it, it's been Man City, really. Apart from this part where they're dominating the Premier League. But like, they've gone down to League One, all sorts. They probably had the takeover events of similar margins, obviously a bigger takeover for City, but we've sort of, been like their younger brother type thing in the sense that I see it. But so I can relate with things to City, but it's just like when things are becoming so easy now, and it's probably not them to blame. It's the teams that keep fucking up their own results, really. Not
they're definitely the ones to blame. But also at the same time, you think to yourself, if these teams are losing these points, surely City should be losing these points somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
And, you'd think it'd be that close that's happening. But just ain't happening to them.
No. And they'll keep doing it. I think once they go into their own little rhythm, they've done this about 3 seasons on the bench now. They're going on winning about 16 games off the bench. So I think there was a little hiccup against Southampton, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But even then, I think they were happy to just take the point at the end because they knew they were so far ahead.
I'm hoping United beat them. We're good against City. We tend to do really well against City, even at our worst at times. You think they turn up for that one.
Roles reversed now, isn't it? Because when City were the team lower down in the table, they'd usually get a result against you, wouldn't they?
Yeah, apart from this last one where City and Liverpool both absolutely smashed the shit out of us in like over 2 weeks. That was crazy. But such is life.
It is. But Norwich have been in great form recently, but I just can't see them getting nothing out of this.
I can see him scoring this time, though, mate.
I did have them down at first, but
change your mind.
City obviously with the best defence. I've gone 3-0.
I've gone 3-1.
I did originally have that, and I changed it, which will bring me on to my tip, which is for City's clean sheet.
Ah.
I think Norwich beat them last time in the Premier League, didn't it? Carrow Road. Was that the early season last time they was in the Premier League? Beat them 3-2. Something like that.
Yeah. Todd Cantwell.
Who's no longer there now at Bournemouth.
I know, he's gone Bournemouth, hasn't he? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Right, anyway. On to Sunday, the 13th of February. We've got 3 2:00 kickoffs, starting with Burnley at home to Liverpool. So...
Yeah, I mean, Burnley obviously got good points against United, but I think this, obviously, in current terms, is a step up in opposition now. Liverpool still got to try and fight for that title, even though it looks dead and buried. So they got to keep going.
It doesn't. Basically, right, they've got a game in hand over Say, and they're 9 points behind. So win the game in hand, they're 6 points behind. They've got to play them. That's 3 points. United or Chelsea beat them, that's same points. So, but Liverpool have to be flawless.
Yeah.
But the good thing is they've got the 2 main players back again. So they've gone through this spell really well, you know, where I thought they'd really struggle. I've been saying to all Liverpool fans that I know, yeah, you just wait till Africa Cup of Nations, kid. Wait and see how special you are then. And they've absolutely nailed it. So shows times are changing, and they've added to the squad as well, which
he looks a good kid to Porto player, doesn't he?
And getting Harvey Elliott back, that's just like signing again, isn't it? So
yeah, look sharp when he come back. Good finish as well.
Great strike. So anyway, go for it.
Yeah, Burnley have made a good signing as well in Vegas up top. It could be a massive signing from that.
You know what, though? You're going on about that, but I tell you what, up to a point, up to like second half, he was nowhere first half. Absolutely abysmal he was, that bit Vegas first half. I was like, who've they signed here? And then second half, they've obviously had a bollocking half time, and they've obviously been instructed to get the ball to the outlet, which is 6'9" or whatever he was.
Yeah.
So, and go with that kind of goal threat and attack Harry Maguire with him. And once you get that kind of instruction, you've got 45 minutes to implement it rather than 90 minutes to implement it. It was a different story, and his confidence just grew as he bullied Maguire, you know. So, but
I think this is why he's going to build confidence now, isn't it? And he's scored goals wherever he's been, hasn't he? So
yeah,
I know this is a different level now. Completely wherever he is,
massively.
And with Burnley to feed off the scraps of it, you know, it's probably a bit harder. But
up against Van Dijk this time.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, a little bit. I'll say overrated. He's a good defender, but the deal. I could name you about 20 better defenders I've seen than him in my lifetime. So
maybe I've had the same discussion, but there's no doubt he's a good one. Absolutely not. And he works for Liverpool, but I don't think he'd work for every side. And I remember the back end of his Southampton career when he were having a bit of a salt light. You know, he weren't great then. You know, and he was good at Celtic. He was great at the beginning at Southampton, poor at the latter end of Southampton. Signed for Liverpool, was like a world-class talent all of a sudden at the beginning, and then got his injury and he's come back, didn't look great. Looked slow getting to the ball, getting across and covering, all the things which he was really good at. But now, this last couple of games, looking good again for me. I think he's starting to pick up a bit of form again. He's starting to, I suppose mentally, it's hard. I know that. Is it getting an injury, which is as bad as that? Mentally, it plays on your mind for a long time. The only way to get through that is games completed. And every time you complete a game, it's like, oh, I've got through that one. And that's the only way to get over it psychologically, because you just initially think about, should I go in for that? No, I might hold off for that one, you know? And It's just what it is. But I see him, the old self in him coming back a little bit now, and I think he looked good the last couple of games, definitely.
It'd be an interesting battle if they try and get the aggression of Vegas, what he did to Maguire, onto him, and could be an interesting battle, really, especially like offset plays and now as well. So
yeah,
but yeah, I've gone for Liverpool to be victorious, a bit of 2-1 win.
I've gone with 2-1 too.
Yeah, Burnley a tougher time, aren't they? Even if they do seem to go down, even if they don't go 2, then they usually seem to nick a goal and make it more.
Yeah, make it interesting towards the end. Yeah, they do. Yeah, definitely. And what's your tip for that one, then, Lee?
I've gone for Vegas to score or Jota on the other side. So if you go for it, I mean, I wouldn't put them all together and then that, but Jota Vegas double probably be a good single bet to have. As you know, it'll probably be about 3-4 to 1, I think, for them both to score in the game, maybe more.
Brilliant. Right then, second of the 2 o'clock kickoffs, we've got probably arguably the next best game of the weekend. Yeah. Newcastle at home to Aston Villa.
Have you had 2-2?
I've had 2-2.
I've had 2-2. I think it's just one of them again, isn't it? You look at it and think, yeah, there's goals in this.
Definitely, mate. Yeah. We're on the same page on a lot of these things now. I can see the games coming sometimes. I'm almost, as I'm writing them sometimes, I think to myself, he's definitely going to say that too.
Yeah, I mean, Villa's defence in the week probably makes it a bit more suspect. I think if they hadn't have conceded 3 goals, I'd probably think, oh, this could probably be a 2-1 Villa win or something like that, or they can nick it there.
Well,
Newcastle's still got work to do.
Definitely conceding though, Villa now. They're conceding more goals than I remember. You know.
Yeah.
So, but they look good going forward. That's
okay. Sorry. I've been told she's going. yeah. Josie's now on the
like a nervous twitch or something. Just.
This is why the show's been cut short today, because I'm doing my parenting mode. So.
Oh yeah, I'll say absolutely same soon, dude. So we are flying through. So anyway, so 2-2 apiece, and yeah, Newcastle looking good again though. Now these signings are starting to take a bit of shape. Yeah.
I mean, I think he put a few of them on the bench, didn't he? But they'll come through and they'll give them a boost. Even the fans will get behind it. It'll be sort of like how Everton is, you know, and try and get behind the new Ivy, I suppose. So it'll be an interesting one to watch. But I say Villa, Tyrone Mings is at fault for pretty much every goal. He's how he gets in the England squad, I don't know. He seems like a nice enough guy. But
he is a proper fraud, isn't he?
Seems like a top bloke, but I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I'm not knocking him as a person, but I tell you what, he's another Kelton Palmer. He's like, how did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, when you got Ezri Konsa, he's going to have to play this week because Konsa will be suspended. But only that's a big miss at the back, so it could complement Newcastle's goals.
Hawes will come in, won't he? Courtney Hawes.
Yeah, Courtney Hawes will be there. I'm sure they've got someone else about, so I can't remember.
They used to have Tuan Zabi, but he's gone. I think he's gone now, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's gone out on loan somewhere, hasn't he? I think.
On loan to Italy to Napoli, was it?
I think it was. It was a good move for him, to be fair, to get that.
Absolutely, yeah. Good league for him to go and do that in.
Yeah, it could be Callum Chambers could be put into the back. I was trying to think who it was a sign. So.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that'll happen.
No doubt, unless he plays right back, I don't know. But.
So, what's your tip for this one then, Lee?
Same as the Leeds Everton. Yeah, Leeds Everton, isn't it? Over 2.5 goals.
Okay. Right, on to the last of the 2 o'clock kickoffs on Sunday the 13th is Tottenham at home to your boys Wolves.
Yeah, well, we've mentioned it on the earlier in the episode. So I think what we needed at that point against when Arsenal went down to 10 men against us was Adama Traore.
Yeah.
Terrified life. And I'm sure we'd have nicked the goal if he was there. I know he don't really provide them, but he opens up spaces, doesn't
Oh,
he?
he
And that's what
frightens
we're missing.
frightens them. Just his presence
Yeah.
frightens teams because
He's-
they don't know what they're like. We've got to watch him. You can't not watch him, even though 1 out of 10 might be really useful at the end of it. He's still useful, isn't he? He's still creating. His first thing is to get the ball and drive. And whatever happens, he's like, you've got to go with him. So he takes players out of the game. And they just don't look like doing that without him.
Yeah, we've lost that fear factor now until Neto comes back, and hoping he comes back the same.
Yeah.
He still doesn't. He's not going to be the same size as Adama. The problem you got there is it's obviously he wanted to go, so you probably couldn't keep him against his will. But we should have kept him to the end of the season. What was in the position that we're in?
Yeah, definitely, and replace him then.
Yeah,
I'm sure the offer has still been on the table, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like at the end of the season, if you don't get the Champions League, just give him your wish. And it looks like we've dropped him for Trinker, he's just not made for this league. Unless he comes back the size of Adama next season, there's no hope of him. And he just
come back like that.
I don't usually tend to notice so much when a player. I mean, like there is players that don't physically adapt to the league, but he's a bit blatant at the moment. So even the smallest players are just bouncing him away. He's like he's made out of spaghetti or something like that.
It's hard to watch him, innit? It's hard to watch that. But we had it with Dan James. It was exactly the same. It was like, oh, he works hard, but it was just like, as soon as he got the ball, it's like ping, it's being flown off the ball, and just like,
yeah, I think it's a lot of adapting to do, especially I think a lot of players usually knuckle down after the first season to work on the strength if they know they've struggled with it.
How long was Adama at Wolves? 4 years?
He was there from the first season we've had him, so we're in our 4th season there. So probably about 3.5 on the contrary, I suppose. I'll say about 3.5 years he's had there.
Did he come from Middlesbrough?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I'll tell you what, he's done well really for you, even though he should have scored more. But
yeah, I'll miss it. I mean, like, yeah, the goals in the system weren't really there, but it's just sometimes you want that player in your team. Don't you? He's
an handful.
Yeah, he's a rare player, but you get all of his attributes in one.
Exactly that. Exactly. Well, I'm going with 1 apiece, mate, I think, on this one.
1-0 Spurs on the fact that we just don't look like scoring all half time, and Conte's a winner and he won't take what he saw against Southampton. So they've got to come out, sort of like the United game, they've got to come out and try and get the victory, I think. But I think I was going to mention as well that obviously trying to pre-forecast everything that's going to happen is we've got a really tough month and we'll probably have a good number of defeats coming up now. So
yeah, I think it's definitely happening a bit more now. I think it was a clearly obvious, I could see it. It looked like they're missing Adama, and it was like, there's just no outlet now, where there's always been an outlet of some kind of aspect, whether that's Podence coming on or Adama coming on or something, or even Neto when he was playing. There's always been an outlet for someone to get on with the ball and get in the attacking third. And I've just not really seen it this last couple of games. And
Podence tries it, but he's, to be fair, for the size of him, he is fairly strong, but he's not that strong to bully around defenders.
No,
he's quite a bit of a bulldog, like, but
he is a bit, runs around like an headless bulldog sometimes.
Yeah, he's got like an angry head on him half the time, but small man syndrome.
I think that's what it is, yeah. So anyway, you've gone with 1-0 then, bud. So go on, what you see for this one? What's your tip?
Gone for over 9.5 corners. Spurs usually pick up the fair amount, and we usually average around 5-6 a game whoever we play. So over 9.5 corners for that one.
Right then. So on to the last game of the weekend, which is the 4:30 on Sunday, which is Leicester at home to West Ham. This will be a good game, even though I've not scored it highly.
It's West Ham have been, even though they've won the last two, they've been very sketchy. I mean, Kidderminster made almost one of the biggest upsets ever, wasn't it?
That was mad. I felt really sorry for him as well.
Yeah, I think everyone just kept checking to see when they was going to score, and then when they got into the 90th minute, thought, oh, they're actually going to lose, and they went and scored. So. A bit worried about Declan Rice going into the changing room and having showers with the Kidderminster players.
What?
That's the story. Is apparently he gave them all the West Ham shirt, but then decided to jump in the shower with them. That's the story I've heard. Yeah, a bit concerning, but quite a funny story on the end of it as well.
These footballers are getting more nuts by the week. Sure.
Yeah. I've had my suspicions. He's but just that one where Mason Mount scared him as well. He was a bit like, oh!
I know, yeah, I saw that. That was funny.
Yeah, I think that's what the first right suspicion they had of him, to be honest with you. I was going to have West Ham to win the game because of Leicester's poor form, but then I looked at Leicester's, because I've said the game yesterday, since they haven't even Leicester's game since Liverpool. But looked at the team they put out, and the bench was 10 times as good as the team. They must have just accepted they was going to get beat by Liverpool, and they must be resting them for this game. They dropped both the defenders, Soyuncu and Vestergaard, and played two midfielders at the back. I imagine they'll be back in the weekend. Soyuncu hasn't been brilliant. Vestergaard's ain't much better, but they're both centre-halves for the start, aren't they? So then you got Harvey Barnes as well to come in as well, so and Tielemans. So I don't know what Rodgers' thinking was in the game, because you could win any game if you give it your all, couldn't you? But I remember Mick McCarthy doing something a fair few years ago when we probably our reserve team against United, and then was playing Burnley at the weekend at home, just seen as a risk. But it paid off. We won 3-0 against Burnley after 1-0 defeat to Man U.
There you go then. I'll tell you what, I wish you did that more now.
Well, I think this is the thing. I think as funny as it sounds like saying that City win every game, but I think the Premier League's, other than the City results, more unpredictable than ever. So you could beat anyone on your day. But back then, I think you could sort of see who was going to lose. You could tell Wolves are going to lose this game, even if they played well.
I always say, I wish I were betting like ages ago. You know, I think a lot.
Yeah,
today. You know, standards. So obviously, standards so high now, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
So, well,
yeah.
I was going to cover the Tuesday shoeing, which they put United at home to Brighton. 8:15 kickoff. So I'm going to mention just, who knows? I'd be able to tell you after this game, but I ain't going to do another preview just for that one match.
Yeah.
So then we'll start again after that. So I'm going to have a rough guess. I'm going to go, because I've said we're drawing with Southampton, I'm going to go with a 2-0 United win at home to Brighton.
Ironically, I'll go with, if United don't win against Southampton, they'll beat Brighton. But if they beat Southampton, I can see Brighton going there and get a draw, because maybe United get complacent again.
Yeah.
That's just a bold prediction off the top of my head, but Brighton are an hard team to beat, so we'll see. But if United don't win both of them, there's going to be alarm bells going off.
Yeah. Well, that concludes everything for this week. With this round of fixtures done it, you know. So basically, guys, we say be sensible with these tips and you're putting your bets on. We've said it every week. Don't put them all on. Pick out, do a couple of tickets or whatever, you know. Get happy to put 3 or 4 on a ticket or whatever, and then chuck a 5 or a 10 or 20 quid on, whatever you choose. Be sensible. We don't promote silly betting. So thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe as normal. Click on the bell button to keep up to date with all the content as they come in, and we shall be back again the back end of the week with some more. for the next round of fixtures. All right, Leroy. Great to see you.
Take it easy, mate. Good luck with the results.
Yeah, and you. Good luck with the kiddie winkles.
Yes, I can already hear a bit of flooding going on, so I best get down.
Go and rescue them. They'll be jumping off TV stands and all sorts.
They probably are. I think they're training for the WWE, the first siblings to be WWE Tag Team Champions. So.
Oh, ideal. Bring plenty of money in, won't it?
Yeah. I know. I think I'd rather them not there, to be honest with you.
Just the life of
hookers. I'm into the football.
Hookers and steroids.
I thought you was on about my girls when they was growing up then.
Could have been if they got into wrestling, dude.
Yeah, we'll get them into football.
Yeah.
I'll be having some footballer. Milana could be a good centre half.
Wolves ladies of the future.
Yes, hopefully so. Hopefully so.
Top man. Right then, guys.
Take it easy, mate.
Nice to see you, Leroy. I'll see you soon.
See ya.
Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.